In the world of American coinage, every year, every mint, and every mark carries its own unique significance, and the 1987 quarter dollar minted in Denver, distinguished by the D Mint mark, is no exception. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary, a simple 25-cent piece that has passed through countless hands in stores, vending machines, and pockets across the nation. Yet when we take a deeper look, we uncover a rich history, a story of design, production, and collector value that transforms this everyday coin into something truly remarkable. The 1987 quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, a design that has stood as a symbol of America's strength and legacy since 1932, created originally to honor the bicentennial birth anniversary of the first president, George Washington. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse proudly features the left-facing bust of Washington, his commanding profile framed by the bold words "Liberty" above his head and the inspirational motto, "In God We Trust," inscribed just to the left. Below the portrait lies the date, 1987, grounding the coin in its historical year of minting. Just beside Washington's ponytail, one can find the small but powerful letter D, the mint mark of the Denver Mint, signifying not only where this coin was born, but also tying it to the larger tradition of American coin production in the Rocky Mountains. Turning to the reverse, we find the majestic image of the bald eagle, the proud national bird of the United States, standing strong with its wings spread wide. This design had been the standard reverse for Washington quarters since their introduction, and it continued until the late 1990s when the state quarters program began. The eagle, perched upon a bundle of arrows, symbolizes the strength and preparedness of the nation to defend its values, while the surrounding olive branches stand as an enduring emblem of peace. Around the rim, we read United States of America at the top and the denomination quarter dollar at the bottom, with the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, positioned directly above the eagle. The reverse, in its simplicity and symbolism, ties the coin to America's heritage and ideals, making it more than just money, but a circulating piece of national pride. The year 1987 was an interesting time for American coinage and history alike. While there were no special commemorative issues for the quarter that year, its production at the Denver Mint was significant, with millions of pieces struck and released into circulation. The Denver Mint, with its long-standing reputation for producing high-quality coins since the early 20th century, ensured that the 1987 D quarters were durable, consistent, and ready for the demands of commerce. Yet, in numismatics, sheer mintage numbers are not the only factor that matters. For collectors, small details such as minting errors, variations in strike quality, and the coin's current condition play crucial roles in determining its value. For instance, a 1987 D quarter found in well-circulated condition may today be worth its face value, just 25 cents, but when discovered in uncirculated condition, with sharp details, no signs of wear, and original mint luster, it can command several dollars on the collector's market. In the rare case of a proof-like strike or an error coin, values can increase even more dramatically, turning a once ordinary piece of change into a numismatic treasure. The composition of the 1987 D quarter is another fascinating aspect of its story. Like other quarters of its era, it was struck in a copper-nickel clad composition, a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of nickel, creating a silvery appearance. This composition had replaced the 90% silver quarters back in 1965, when rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to transition to cheaper metals. Thus, the 1987 D quarter is part of that modern generation of coins made for durability and mass circulation, not precious metal content. Still, collectors value these clad quarters for their historical continuity and for the role they play in completing collections. A set of Washington quarters would feel incomplete without this year, and for anyone seeking a full run of Denver minted issues, the D mark of 1987 remains essential. When examining the coin market today, one realizes how much condition can affect price. A heavily worn 1987 D quarter found in circulation today is common and may hold little beyond sentimental or face value. However, an example graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC in high mint state, MS65, MS66, or even higher, can sell for significantly more, with auction records showing values ranging anywhere from $10 to over $100 depending on grade and demand. Collectors also look for unique errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws. These rare errors are the gems that can push a 1987 D quarter into the spotlight, making it highly sought after by advanced numismatists. For this reason, it is always recommended to carefully inspect coins, even modern ones like the 1987 D quarter, because hidden value can sometimes be tucked within the smallest details. Beyond its monetary worth, the 1987 D quarter carries with it cultural and nostalgic value. For many Americans, this was the coin they used during their daily lives in the late 1980s, a time of booming technology, cultural change, and political transition. To hold a 1987 D quarter is to hold a piece of that era, a reminder of grocery store visits, arcade machines, or payphones that swallowed quarters one after another. It is not just a numismatic artifact, but also a tangible connection to the everyday lives of millions of people who lived through that decade. That is why, even today, collectors often speak not only of the coin's design and minting, but also of the memories and stories it evokes. In conclusion, the 1987 quarter dollar with the Denver D mint mark is more than just another piece of American currency. It is part of the Washington quarter legacy, a coin that carries history, symbolism, and potential value beyond its face. Whether viewed as a collectible, an investment, or simply a cherished keepsake, it continues to represent a small but enduring piece of the United States numismatic journey. And while many of these coins still circulate, only those preserved in the finest condition or carrying unique errors stand as hidden treasures in the modern collector's world. So, the next time you see a quarter from 1987 with that small D mint mark, don't just pass it off as change. Take a closer look, for within that little coin lies history, heritage, and perhaps even hidden fortune. Friends, imagine this: a simple 50-cent coin from 1977, shining with the face of John F. Kennedy. To many, it looks like ordinary pocket change. But what if I told you this half-dollar hides a story of honor, history, and even surprising value in today's market? This coin is not just money. It is a piece of America's legacy, a symbol of pride, and maybe, just maybe, the treasure that could be sitting unnoticed in your collection right now. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will see the 1977 half-dollar in a way you never imagined before. The 1977 United States half-dollar is one of those fascinating coins that captures both the spirit of American history and the legacy of numismatics. It belongs to the Kennedy half-dollar series, which began in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Americans from every state immediately embraced the coin, not just as currency, but as a symbol of honor, remembrance, and respect for a fallen leader. By 1977, the Kennedy half-dollar was already more than a decade old, yet it continued to shine as one of the most iconic coins in circulation. Holding a 1977 half-dollar is like holding a piece of American pride, with every detail of its design telling a powerful story. The obverse side of the coin proudly features the portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His profile faces left, with sharp details in the hair, eyes, and chin that give the coin an aura of strength and leadership. Above his head, you see the timeless motto Liberty, while just below his chin rests the national motto, In God We Trust. Beneath the bust, the date 1977 is neatly engraved, anchoring the coin in history. For many collectors, this portrait is more than just artwork. It is a reminder of the hopes and dreams of the early 1960s, a decade of transformation in the United States. Even in 1977, years after Kennedy's passing, the coin still carried deep emotional weight. Flipping the coin over, the reverse side reveals another masterpiece, designed by Frank Gasparo. At its center lies the presidential seal of the United States, a bold eagle with outstretched wings, holding arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. Above the eagle's head shines a circle of stars, representing the states of the Union, while the words United States of America and half-dollar encircle the design in grand fashion. This side of the coin radiates patriotism and balance, the olive branch symbolizing peace and diplomacy, while the arrows show readiness to defend the nation. Every element was chosen carefully to make the Kennedy half-dollar not just a coin of commerce, but a coin of national pride. In terms of composition, by 1977 the half-dollar was no longer struck in silver for circulation. From 1965 to 1970, the coins contained 40% silver, But beginning in 1971, they were minted entirely from copper-nickel clad, with an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of nickel. The 1977 half dollar follows this modern composition, weighing 11.34 grams, with a diameter of 30.6 millimeters and a reeded edge. Though it no longer carried silver, it still held its place as a substantial and impressive coin, larger and heavier than the quarter or dime, with a commanding presence in the hand. The 1977 half dollar was minted in 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark for proof coins. Philadelphia struck over 43 million coins, while Denver contributed over 31 million, making them common in circulation at the time. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collectors, with a mintage of around 3.25 million. While the Philadelphia and Denver coins circulated widely across the country, the San Francisco proofs were carefully struck with polished dies and mirror-like fields, intended specifically for collectors and coin enthusiasts. Collectors often value the 1977 half dollar not for its rarity, but for its connection to the Kennedy legacy and the historical context of the 1970s. By this time, fewer half dollars were being used in everyday commerce. They often sat in bank rolls, collector albums, or were given as keepsakes rather than spent. The coin therefore carries with it a sense of nostalgia, a reminder of an era when the half dollar was still a familiar sight in pocket change. For young collectors today, finding a 1977 Kennedy half dollar in circulation is exciting because it feels like a window into the past. Condition plays an important role in determining the coin's value. Circulated 1977 half dollars are generally worth their face value of 50 cents, but uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS 65 or higher, can carry a premium. Proof coins from San Francisco, with their brilliant mirrored finish, are also more desirable, particularly if they are preserved in original mint packaging. Though not rare in the numismatic world, the 1977 half dollar is treasured for its design, its connection to Kennedy, and its role in American history. Beyond its monetary value, the 1977 half dollar carries cultural meaning. It reflects the enduring respect Americans held for John F. Kennedy, long after his presidency and tragic death. It also speaks to the shift in American coinage, away from silver and into more practical, durable metals, showing how history, economy, and politics all shape the money we use. Collectors often say that every coin tells a story, and in the case of the 1977 Kennedy half dollar, the story is one of memory, honor, and national pride. In the modern market, the 1977 half dollar is still affordable and accessible to collectors of all levels. While most examples remain close to face value, high-grade mint state coins and flawless proof strikes can command prices from a few dollars to much higher, depending on certification and rarity of condition. For those who value history, however, its worth goes far beyond money. It is a coin that brings Kennedy's vision and America's spirit of unity into the palm of your hand. So, when you look at a 1977 United States half dollar, you are not simply holding a piece of copper-nickel metal. You are holding a piece of the nation's collective memory, a tribute to leadership, and a continuation of the story of American coinage. From its shining design to its historical weight, it remains one of the most meaningful coins to ever pass through the hands of the American people.